This podcast was recorded on the land of the Gadigal people of the Eora Nation.
Hello to all our lovely listeners.
God, that was a bit
And
dire.
welcome back to another week of Mad About You.
Oh, we just turned into love song dedications.
Yeah, Richard Mercer, baby.
That was nice.
Guys, wherever you are in the
I
world,
can
whatever
see
you're
you
up
doing
to.
that. Sorry.
I love saying this.
Okay,
It's my thing.
Go.
We appreciate having you with us. It means a lot. And it really does, you know. I would hate, because if you guys stop listening, then they're not going to let me talk to you guys anymore. And that's sad. What's wrong? That's true.
No one's not letting you talk to people.
No, I'm saying if just suddenly no one's listening, we're going to get sacked.
Yeah,
So that's sad. to think
that's
about.
true.
Yeah.
You could talk
So I'm
to
saying
them
I
on the
appreciate
line.
all the listeners.
You've got followers waiting to hear from you. You never post
This
to
is
them.
so much more enjoyable to me.
Poor things.
Guys, this week on the pod, we have some absolutely kooky catfishing stories for you guys. Now, I'm not sure if everyone will be familiar with this term. I hope they are, but, you know, it depends on the age of the listeners. Now, just to make sure we're all on the same page, catfishing is when someone creates a fake online identity to deceive someone else, often with the intention of perhaps building a romantic relationship or friendship, and sometimes even, I don't know, probably with older people, scamming or manipulating them.
Oh, always.
Yeah, people use stolen photos, they make up details, create pretty much an entirely new persona to deceive someone. And that being said, I'm sure you guys can only imagine what's to come in this week's episode.
Yeah.
Now, our Ask Mom and Dad at the end comes from a girl who is a bit guilt-ridden after going through her partner's phone. So stick with us for all of the good stuff.
Guys, before we get into it, look, I took Lachlan and Fletcher to the shops the other day.
What? I'm sorry, what does that mean?
I drove, right?
You didn't take us to the shops.
Well, I took you.
We're not.
You're in the car with me. I took you.
All right. Yeah.
It felt like I took you because it felt like I was with two kids instead of one. Anyway, Locke decided in the middle of winter he wasn't going to wear any shoes. So I posted that on the line, and wow, I don't think I've ever received so many DMs in my entire life.
What? Saying what?
People were repulsed, like genuinely repulsed by you, to the point where people were like, I think I would leave my husband. This is the biggest ick I've ever seen in my life. How could you possibly let him bring all those germs inside the house? Please tell me he scrubs his feet before he walks inside. Why is he doing this? People were genuinely very perplexed. Like, why would he do this? Why? There were lots of why questions. And lots of comparisons to you and Frodo. And basically the
Lucky
people...
I'm not married to any of those psychos.
The people want to know why you're happy to go out without shoes on in the middle of winter.
I'm not happy. We went somewhere and I forgot shoes.
No, you didn't. I flagged it before we walked out the door. Don't lie.
Okay, you're actually completely lying because we didn't walk out the door. We were coming home from going and visiting my family, which was 2 hours
so
away.
True, you're right. Yeah.
Yeah. Do you just make stuff up in your head? I'm confused.
Sometimes
So I actually
reality is
forgot.
twisted.
Taking shoes to go and visit
Yeah,
my
you did.
family.
Yeah.
And then we were coming home, and I said we should probably stop at the shops because we don't have any food for Fletch. And instead of going out later, like that's probably smarter. So I sacrificed my feet.
But
and
you had
looking like-
slippers.
Yeah,
So
I'm
you
not
could have
wearing,
worn...
Yeah, I'm not wearing slippers in. That's
That's
even
what I mean,
weirder.
though. You'd rather wear no shoes than slippers. And mind you, it's not like your slippers are like nice. You've kept them really well. Like those slippers look like, you know.
I just don't get why
dogs have
everyone's
gotten
got
to
such
them.
a big issue with it. Like, I'll have a shower when I get home. Don't stress.
Well, see, this is the... I honestly, like, I think it's weird that you're walking around in the middle of winter without any shoes on.
So it's not about the
Also,
germs then. Summer would be fine.
Not at a beach town or anything. Like when you're walking off the beach in
No
Bondi, you're
germs
not
in
wearing
beach
shoes
towns.
a bit different. Not wearing shoes a little bit different. But in the middle of like the suburbs, just raw dogging your feet in the middle of winter, I find a little bit odd, but not to the degree of which some of these people felt very passionately about the fact that you were in fact vile.
That's fine. I don't have an issue.
But I don't get
with
it. Like, you just wash your feet, right? And then all good.
Well, as you just said, I'm confused at why it's suddenly an issue. Like, if you were off Bondi Beach and you walked back a few streets into a shop to get a coffee or walked into a
Normal.
Woolies or Coles to pick up a loaf of bread, wouldn't that be normal? You
Yeah.
could probably do it in a bikini and no shirt on it and be normal.
Yeah,
But why is
normal.
it weird that I'm doing it fully
Well,
clothed.
yeah, it
with
is
no,
weird
I
that
don't
it's-
really understand why
Well,
that's such a...
it's acceptable there because you're not wearing shoes already, right?
Yeah, I wasn't wearing shoes already. I forgot them. So do I let everyone know that?
A lot of people found, I was just surprised that people had such an issue with it. Like,
Wait, you were surprised that some people have an issue with people posting things online. That's crazy. That's newfound information.
Look, to the degree that people felt as passionately about it as they did. Like, I think it's weird, but I don't care. Like, whatever, you're not wearing shoes, whatever. You wash your feet, all good. It's not a big deal. But some people were acting like you were like you had contracted meningococcal and you were then putting it on people's faces with your toes. Like, that's the way some people were acting.
Yeah, that's weird because you're a germaphobe. So if you don't have an issue with it, I can't imagine how germophobic these people are.
But yeah, there you go. A lot of people have issues with people being barefoot, which is how nature wanted it to be. We were not born with shoes. We were born
We're
with
still not born with shoes.
just our bare feet. And that's what we had to go off for a very long time. Until we used maybe some cow skin to wrap around our feet.
You could have stopped that ages ago.
And
That's fine.
now we have R.M. Williams and various other shoes.
Okay, awesome. Okay, oh my God. All right, guys. This week, obviously, we're doing a little catfishy episode. Now, I don't know why, but I just thought this would be a fun one because I remember back in the day when I was younger and watched, I don't know, was it free-to-air TV? There was a show called Catfish in America about this guy.
It wasn't on free-to-air.
Wasn't it?
No, it was on like MTV.
Oh, okay.
You needed to
I must
pay
have only
the
watched
big
that
bucks for Catfish.
at friends' houses then,
Yeah,
because
you
I
would
did
have
not
been.
have that. So essentially there was this guy and people would write in with their stories and pretty much go like, hey, I've met this person online and we really get along, we're dating, or we're even like, sometimes they would be like, oh, we're engaged but we've never met, and every time I try and hang out with them they have an excuse, and then they would go to this guy who essentially would act as a...
Neve? Nev.
Yeah, Neve.
Neve?
Yeah.
Was it Neve?
A lovely name. Would essentially act as like a PI and try and help them come to the bottom. And like sometimes, rarely, it was the person, and then
Rarely.
often it was like some crazy web of lies and intricate details, and like sometimes friends, family members,
A
or
relative,
just like opposite sex, like just wild stuff. And I don't know why, I just thought it was quite an entertaining show. So I figured that if we put the line out to you guys, we'd probably catch some interesting fish. But yeah, that's why. Wait, why is that funny?
Sorry. I just zoned out. I was thinking about all the Catfished episodes that I'd watched, and I slowly rested my nose onto the microphone, and then that's what just happened.
You're tired, huh?
Anyway, go on.
Far out. Yeah, but like, and it got me thinking, which I haven't thought about for a long time, but when I was fresh on the internet and had, profiles of what we call MySpace or Bebo or whatever it was.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I remember talking to random girls on the internet, and looking back now, it definitely wasn't the girls that I thought I was talking to. Like, I thought I was an absolute stallion talking to these Brazilian models overseas and stuff. And now looking back, no way I was talking to them. But I've never actually thought about that until doing this episode. I just thought, there were just conversations and things that happened. And, obviously I could never meet up with these, Brazilian swimwear models.
Well, at least you've got nice memories
from
of
Rio. Yeah. And it got me thinking that no matter how, like, I don't know, switched on you'd think you might be, like, kids are just naive, and I'm sure that all walks of life and all ages get taken advantage of, and it's not saying that older people wouldn't be catfished as well, but young kids, I reckon, would have the absolute piss taken out of them online, thinking that they're talking to people that they're not, because nowadays it would be so easy to just come up with the craziest intricate, like, pages with their friends involved. You got pictures of everyone everywhere. Like, it'd be so easy.
I'm actually often on the other end of catfishing, where I get regular DMs from people saying, I thought I was talking to you on this app or that app. And it actually happened a few times where people had essentially developed relationships with me on an app where they were talking. It was like... it was for same-sex couples. So these girls would DM me and say, hey, I've been talking to you for months, or what I thought was you. this is what's happened, it's unfolded. And they're sharing this whole story with me. And I don't know them. I've never spoken to them in my life. Someone's just used
that we know of.
Someone's just used my photos and has developed literal relationships like online with these women. And they're divulging this information to me. And I'm like, oh, I'm really sorry that's happened. Yeah, no, it's not me. And then they want more from me. It's like they want me to give them
closure, or
closure, or they're like, yeah, it's really upsetting. Like, I really thought this person cared for me. And I'm like, I don't know what you want me to do in this setting.
Yeah, I'm
like,
not the person still.
I'm not, I don't know you. It was not me talking to you. It's just my photo, literally. And, you know.
So I'm assuming the people would not use your real name, right? Because that would be too easy to find out that you have a husband.
I think
and
so.
Kid and
Most
stuff.
of the time it's a fake name.
Yeah.
It happened a few times with older men. Like, older men messaged me and said, this is not okay. And I'm like, it's not me, doll.
What do you want me to do?
It's not me, babe. Like, I've got nothing to do with this.
Did you ever have people say that they'd been like financially scammed? You know, like they'd sent
I think,
you
yeah,
money?
a couple of times, yeah.
Ooh,
like
that's
they've asked for money and I've given it to them, and I'm like, yeah, I don't know what to tell you. I don't have the money. It's not me. So, yeah, bit silly, a little bit silly.
That is.
But yeah, so I've found myself on that end of being the catfish,
Sure.
you know, quite a number of times, and it still happens today. And people still send me fake Tinder profiles of you from, you know, somewhere in the United States or whatever.
Yeah.
They're fake, right?
Mate, don't look at me. You're the only one who's used Tinder in this relationship. I've never had a dating app my whole life.
So yeah, that's been my most common experience with catfishing is actually on the other end of it.
Yeah. Well, luckily my experience was many, many moons ago now. But it also got me thinking that we experienced it, right? Like I experienced it when I was young, obviously, talking to people that definitely weren't those people. But it'd be an interesting concept. Like I know that our parents listen to this pod, like my dad, for example, and it got me thinking that he's going to listen to this and be like, oh, these stories are really interesting and that's crazy that people do this. But it would have never happened to anyone in their generation. Like it's not possible for this to have even been a thing, right? Like you spoke to someone that you met in person, that you got their literal phone number and then you would talk to them. Maybe you would like meet up with them, pick a time. Like there's no way that this could have happened to them. So it's just the generation before, like our parents, no stories like this. And then we put out a call and we get stories like this from people. It's just weird to know that one generation nothing and the next generation crazy, you know, because of the internet. Yeah, it's wild. So, that being said, let's. Some of these are a bit longer because there is quite a bit of detail, but trust me, the juice is worth the squeeze. All right, first story says, so I met this guy in a Facebook group during lockdown. We first started chatting over a random comment thread about cooking of all things. His name was Tom and his profile picture was just a golden retriever. But his DMs were funny, he was quick and full of this dry sarcasm that matched mine. We soon started sending voice notes. His voice was deep and attractive. We talk every day. We shared everything. Childhood trauma, our worst breakups, the weird dreams we'd had the night before, etc. I even told my friends that I'd met someone, and because it was COVID, they called him my quarantine boyfriend. After 4 months of speaking every day, I pushed to FaceTime him. He said his front camera was cracked, then his screen was broken, then he dropped his phone in the toilet, and I believed it all. But one day, something just shifted. I started getting this pit in my stomach that I couldn't ignore. Eventually, I decided I had to do some extra digging. I reverse image searched a group photo he had sent me and found a man in a completely different state with a completely different name. I then went into FBI mode and started researching everything he'd ever told me. Turned out his voice notes weren't even him. He was using a podcaster's clips he'd once told me about and had been slicing and sending their voice as his own. He never once spoke to me in real time. I hadn't been falling for a guy. I'd been falling for a podcaster's voice and a made-up character. And the worst part, I still miss the version of him I thought was real. Is that crazy?
Oh my God, that is so intricate.
Bro, some of them are crazy coming
Like
up.
to not even speak and then
People must
snippets of a podcast.
People must get such a kick out of this though. Like it must be a thrill for the people on the other side, right? Because that's a lot of work and effort. And I always come back to the point, like when these things happen, it's like the gig is up, right? Like as soon as they try to, as you say, FaceTime you or meet up with you in person, like where do you go from there? So you have to keep these like interactions on the phone whereby, you can talk to someone and connect with them. And, you know, I'm sure, like she said, she told him like childhood trauma and like so like you're extracting like hectic information out of someone.
What
and
was
they
he
have
sharing
no
in his-
idea who you are.
How was he slicing these podcasts to make it sound like he was talking to her about things that were relevant?
Well, that's probably part of the manipulation. He would like spark a conversation
Yeah,
about
right.
something that he'd heard, and then he could splice things from,
Like
to sound smart.
The
or,
entire thing was orchestrated.
Yeah,
Every
yeah,
single
yeah,
sentence was
yeah.
like orchestrated.
Yeah, so it's crazy that people go to this
Wow.
sort of effort. And then I think like for what, right? So that's what it comes back to. It's like it has to
Yeah.
just be some kick that you get because you're never going to meet up with them. Like you're never going to FaceTime them.
Yeah.
So you're never going to have a real relationship. You just have this manipulative relationship where, I don't know, perhaps you can extract from them.
Well, it's connection. It's still connection for that person. As fake as it is,
Yeah.
they're receiving real information. They're receiving a real person on the other end. They're talking to a real person. They know who they're talking to. That other person's not hiding.
Yeah.
So that's a connection to them. And really, like when you look into people like this, it's quite sociopathic. Like they're not thinking and feeling on the scale that an average person does. So to them, that's a genuine connection. Like they're not separating the two and going, well, I'm not this person, so it's not real. It's real to them. So yeah, he's or she or whoever the fuck it was has felt this connection, and so is the other person to the point where she
Yeah.
still misses this
Yeah.
person
And
that
that's
was
the weird
created.
thing as well, as you said, like they get the real connection.
Yeah.
The creep gets the real connection with someone, being honest. And then that other person is just like throwing time and effort and down the toilet because
They say
alas,
that
who is it?
if you're feeling like, I'm going to explain this really poorly, but they say that as soon as you have a feeling, an actual in your body feeling, your brain doesn't know the difference between whether or not that's real or fake, right? So if you're having these feelings of connection and interest and laughter, like these enjoyable feelings.
Which side are you speaking about? The fake person or the real person?
The real person who's been absorbing all of this,
Sure.
this relationship.
Yeah,
Let's call it, that's what it is, sort of, That's been a real relationship for that person. So her body remembers that as being real. That's not, her mind knows it's fake, but her
does that
body...
mean they're both getting real? Because he's
to a
getting
degree.
the-
To a degree until she finds out, and then her brain knows it's not real, but that's why she misses him, is because she remembers the feeling of what it was like to have this connection with this person.
Yeah, that would be a weird feeling to miss something that was never real, even when you understand that it was
Yes,
never real.
it would be very, very, very strange and difficult to come to terms with.
Yeah, I didn't really think about that. But surely you could rationalize that in your mind.
Eventually,
like this was never real, so
get
I
over
can't
it.
miss something that
You miss
has never
you miss the
existed.
potential. A lot of people date people who have potential in them, and then they're not actually that person. They miss that person when they break up.
Yeah, I get that, but when you break up with someone, you miss the good, right? Like you have memories and you miss the good, but you don't miss
Her body
Yeah, but
doesn't
none
know
of
the
this
difference
was-
between that good being real and fake. It's still the same feeling. That's what I'm saying. So at the end of the day, I guess you can miss that
Yeah.
because it still made you feel those things. But yeah, that's a crazy one to kick off with.
All right, then-
Podcast thing really threw me. It seems like
Yeah.
it's just so well thought out. I would never think to do
But
that.
now I think like that would be quite easy to do, like you just record
Especially
it
with
on
AI.
YouTube or something and then yeah, I didn't even think about
Think
that.
of
That would be even
all-
easier.
There's all these AI chatbots that people talk to where they're chatting to AI, but it's a person. It's not a person.
And because they can respond so quickly because they're literally language
And AI
models.
is really
yeah.
empathetic. I don't know if you've ever spoken to AI about like a thing, but it comes across as a very empathetic bot.
No.
Yeah.
What things do you chat to it about where you need empathy?
Well, to be honest, I asked AI not super recently, but for like coping mechanisms with like emotional challenges I was facing. So, but I wanted practical solutions for that. Like, what tools can I use to re-regulate
How
myself?
come I always get in trouble for giving you practical solutions?
Your practical solutions are stupid. It's like, well, just don't be upset.
Yeah, oh my God. What a liar. What a liar. When you have nothing to say, do you just lie?
Anyway, so I was like, what can I do to re-regulate myself in this setting? And ChatGPT not only gives you that advice, but says, that must be really difficult for you. And I'm sorry that you're experiencing that because it can be really hard and it can affect A, B, and C. And I'm like,
That's all I needed.
It
That's
can.
all I needed.
It can do that. And then
That's
I'm like,
nice.
that's really nice of you to acknowledge, mate. But it's a fucking robot that is, talking to me. And that's really weird, But a lot of people are seeking that validation from AI now.
I didn't know that was a thing, to be honest.
Because
but
it's
I
more
believe you.
empathetic than a lot of humans are.
I believe you.
Yeah. Anyway, so that exists. Anyway.
I just want to say next one's the only one we got from a guy. So,
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
This one says, I matched with a woman on Hinge. She looked cool, was mid-20s, working in marketing and had a couple of tattoos. Her texts were always chaotic and she sent lots of oddly poetic voice memos. We had 3 failed attempts at meeting. She was always hungover or at a family emergency, or one time she said her rabbit died and she was too upset to go out. I didn't even know she had a rabbit. On the 4th date cancellation, something in me cracked. I told a few mates what was going on and they told me that she was just pulling my leg and wasting my time. I sent her a message that afternoon and literally said, my friends think you're a catfish and are just stringing me along. After sending that, she didn't even deny it. She just wrote back, I liked being someone else for a while. I'm sorry. That message still makes my skin crawl.
Bro, people are whack.
Oh, I'm so creeped out. Oh, it's like admitting it's even creepier.
This
like,
one only I felt okay about because it didn't say that like I divulged anything. It just said like we spoke for a while and he tried to hang out with her.
Yeah.
And, you know, sounds like they had fun chit-chatting and stuff. And you hope that people, I don't know, in these moments, like you hope they don't divulge too much sensitive information to people they think they're connecting with. But yeah, I agree. It's like that little weird message. Like it seems like a movie that would just creep you out. And I don't know, I feel like it would change your like trust with these things as well, you know? Like when this happens to you once, I'm sure when you're connecting with someone in the future, you'd be, I don't know, double guessing or hesitant
you'd be
because
very skeptical.
Because you didn't think this person was at the start. So then you'd go, what? Oh shit, I'm talking to this new person. I don't think they are, but alas, it could be. So yeah, it would be this weird thing that just would play in your mind once it's happened to you once. And
the admittance so easily.
Yeah, you'd think that they would
So
just not
easily.
reply and block. But that's the thing as well, is because you have such anonymity, right? Like they don't know.
No.
You're not a real person. Like you're not using your real name, real photos. Like you can be as brutally honest as possible.
Yeah.
And then just delete and they'll never know how to
Like,
find
the
you,
gig's
contact
up. Oh,
you.
well, whatever.
They don't, like it's just it's a weird thing, right? It's like, yeah, the anonymity makes them be able to be honest because there's no repercussions for their actions, you know, which is, I don't know, terrifying.
Oh, I hate that.
Yeah,
At least it didn't drag too long.
Yeah, good on your mates as well for picking up
Yeah, good.
that she was just pulling your leg.
See, that's why you need to talk to your friends.
Yeah, but you go to ChatGPT.
No. I don't want to bother my friends
Wait,
sometimes.
4 sentences ago, you were telling us how you went to ChatGPT.
That was once.
And then I said you went to ChatGPT and your answer was no.
One time.
Okay. All right. Holy moly. All right, next story says, I matched with 2 guys on Bumble. Good on you. Within the same
chat?
week.
Oh, okay.
Let's call them Alex and Jake. Different photos, slightly different bios, but both good looking and surfers, both from the same part of the northern beaches. Weird coincidence, but okay. One was flirty and even a little cocky. The other was more thoughtful. He'd asked me a lot of questions about my life and days and sent songs that he'd even think I'd like. I liked them both, but for very different reasons. But after a while, little things started to cross over. They both said they were renovating their apartments. They both had the same breed of dog, etc. I got suspicious and pulled out the classic move of asking for a video call. Why don't these people do that earlier? Sorry. Of asking for a video call. For context, both these boys messaged me off different phone numbers. Jake, the cocky one, agreed to the video call. We scheduled it for a Friday, but 2 hours before the call, I got a message from Alex's number saying he'd got into a car accident and had to cancel plans for our video call. I hadn't made plans to video call Alex, only Jake. When I called him out for pretending to be 2 people, he admitted he had created 2 separate profiles, one to have fun and one to be real. He said he wanted to see which version of him I liked better. I said neither, blocked, deleted, and honestly still creeped out to this day.
That's so ew. No, I just think they're all sociopaths.
Imagine you doing so much, like, so many web of lies that you even get confused with your own web of lies,
But
and then you stuff up yourself.
If you know, which they did, obviously, that they're talking to the same person on 2 different accounts, why would you give the information away about the apartment and the dog? What?
Maybe they get confused. They might not be doing this
How
with
many accounts
one...
do they have?
Probably heaps. When you got like this sort of fetish for like lying to people and being someone else, do you think that he has like one match, does it, and he's like, oh, that'll do me for this week or month? I'm sure he's doing it to like 20 different people at the same time. And that's what I'm saying. When you're telling so many different lies to so many different people at the same time, you're eventually going to stuff up, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And obviously, you know,
I reckon it was neither. It was also probably neither of them the whole time.
what do you mean?
Both the profiles.
Of course, it would have been just a random, like,
Creep.
it's almost like, sounds like he's beta testing, like, what women,
Who's gonna?
if
what
women want,
what
like,
version of me?
a cocky idiot, or if they want, you know, like the more thoughtful, sensitive. It's like he's watched a movie and gone with the jock and a nerd and just
so
trying to
weird.
test the waters.
People are so creepy. Also, that sucks for her. I'd feel so humiliated. Like,
What do you mean? In what way?
well, having two different conversations
With the same person.
two-
Yeah, I
with
didn't
the
think
same
about that.
person. Yeah, divulging information about
Yeah,
yourself,
yeah,
like maybe
yeah,
being
yeah.
flirty. You know, you'd
Yeah,
feel
yeah,
like
yeah.
I'd feel so just ashamed and like embarrassed.
Oh, I hope you wouldn't feel ashamed. You didn't
No,
do
I
anything.
just feel like for putting yourself out there, and the same person is receiving the same two different conversations. You know, two kind of versions
Yeah.
of you. That
That's eerie. And yeah, to think that you might have shared, I mean, yeah, you're choosing to share different things with different versions of the same. Yeah, it's so weird
But
to wrap
none
your
of
head
these
around this
people get
stuff.
away with it.
Oh,
ever.
I don't think that's the case. I have a story coming up where essentially, we'll just wait.
We'll
for
just
it, but-
wait. Okay.
But yeah, I would say that some people are more forgiving than others. You know, in all areas of life, like things that you or I wouldn't be okay with, and we say that we would never forgive. Like it's a no brainer for us. Other people don't feel the same. You know, so
I remember seeing, I think it was an episode of Catfish where they found the person eventually,
Yeah.
and it wasn't the person who they had thought they
Go
were
figure.
speaking to,
yeah,
but they ended up together anyway.
yeah. See,
It
that's
was also the person it was the opposite sex,
oh,
and the person who was speaking to both these people, the catfish and the other person, was like, yeah, whatever.
that seems odd.
Like I connected
Like
with you.
changing your sexuality.
Well, they might have
well.
like both from the get go,
Sure,
but
sure,
it's
sure.
just that they connected with this person anyway, and then it just worked out. And I was
Yeah,
like,
but
that's weird.
That to me feels so.
Now
weird.
you're both weird.
You didn't connect with them. You were,
yeah,
yeah.
you've
Well,
still been like they've still been dishonest with you from the get go, and then
it's
you
more than dishonest.
Yeah.
It's like hyper manipulative
Yeah.
and just disturbing. It's not only like you've told a fib,
Yeah, yeah,
like
yeah.
you've kept the, you know, like in our previous episode, like keeping the price of something that you bought. It's not that. It's like you're pretending to be someone else and start a relationship and extract information from someone that they're only giving because they think you are something that you're not.
Yes.
You know, it's a very dark.
Anyway.
I don't know why. I
was a
always
weird one.
find this show so interesting because when that happens, like someone's like, yeah, it's okay. I'm like, what? How
why?
is it okay?
Yeah, well,
Yeah, what's wrong with you? So obviously something. All right, next story. It says, hey, Lock and Jad. So when I was in grade 8, I had a best friend who I literally did everything with. She was always telling me about her boyfriend and his best friend and all these wild adventures they would go on. She eventually tells me that her boyfriend's best friend wants to message me on Bebo. I don't know if you guys remember Bebo, but it was the best. I said, yeah, that's fine. So we started talking on Bebo, then MSN. He asked me to be his girlfriend. I said yes. We always planned to meet, so I'd go stay at her house and we would sneak out to the park and wait for ages for her boyfriend and his friend, but they would just never show. There was always some sort of excuse as to why they didn't show up, but he literally would talk to me all day, every day. Anyway, months of this went on, and one day I had an epiphany and just realized it was her pretending to be the boy. Did some digging, and it was. Cut her off and never told her I knew. What weirdo does that to their best friend? Yeah, that is.
Here I am going, but how?
Etch.
But the guy never rocks up. So how did the girl spend all this time with him? My brain just wasn't clicking until the very end.
I actually asked her as well. Like I wrote back and I said, you know, she just said I had epiphany and realized it was her. And I was like, surely you had to confirm that it was her, right? You can't just think it was her. And I said, how did you know it was your friend? And she said that when she was literally on MSN, so we're talking, this is, you know,
Yonks ago.
What, like 15, more probably,
Yeah.
you know, 15 to 20 years ago.
20.
She said that she would be writing to her friend and then she would write to the guy and she would realize that her friend would have to sign off to sign in to speak back as the guy. And she's like, that was literally like
That was the tell.
my investigative skills as a
Yeah.
14-year-old. You
Yeah,
know, she was
yeah,
like,
yeah,
I
yeah.
would see that he would only reply if she was ever offline and
Yeah.
vice versa, which like got me thinking that she'd made a fake profile. But yeah, it's just like,
At 14.
is that,
What 14-year-old is doing all that
Yeah,
in
like-
grade 8?
well, like that's your
Friend?
friend. Like, and I get that kids do dumb
What's the
shit.
kick out of that?
And she
What
might
is
have
the
just thought
kick
it was
out of that?
funny. I don't know. Maybe you maybe
Like to go to a park with someone knowing the two people you've invented are not going to show up.
That's a weird thing. That just seems like you're wasting time. But I guess she would get a kick out of seeing, I don't know, perhaps how excited her friend was at the prospect of meeting this guy. So like she would, I don't know. Or maybe you want to see like how your friend flirts or like what I don't know, what she would say to boy. Yeah, I don't know. It's weird. I can't really get into the head,
I'd like
head
to
of
speak
these
to
people.
a catfish
Wait, someone
who's done that before.
Oh, that would be a cool
Guys,
interview.
if you happen to be a weirdo, please
chuck your hand up and let us grill
We'd
you
love
about
to
it.
interview you.
I don't think anyone's going to be putting their hand up for that, but that would be a nice
Be a good conversation.
getting into their brain and wondering why
did you
they
do that?
do what they do.
Yeah. Like I always find it really interesting when they interview criminals about what they've done and
But me
why.
too. Yeah.
Anyway, moving on.
Yeah.
Thanks for writing in. This one says, I got catfished on a date from Hinge. In fact, it was actually the guy, but he had gained 80 to 100 kilos and was severely overweight to the point that he struggled to get out of the car. He did acknowledge that he didn't look like his photos anymore, and when I questioned why he used photos from so long ago, he got extremely angry and accused me of judging a book by its cover. I pointed out we literally matched on a dating app, which is literally judging a book by its cover before you meet, and he didn't like that either and said, no wonder you're single, lol. Oh my God.
The man hates logic.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah.
Imagine being catfished by the same person.
Yeah, that's a tough one because perhaps he knows that he's not putting his best foot forward, so he wants to.
He's not putting his current foot
put
forward.
out the potential of what he could be. Yeah, I understand. That's hard. Like I'm trying to. It would be hard if you've let yourself go to try and put yourself out there, but it's definitely not the right way to go about things, right? Like no one's going to rock up on a date and go, "Oh, thank God this person started by being dishonest about."
Well, like
how they look.
A 60-year-old isn't going to use a photo of them when they're 20 and go, well, that used to be me.
That's true.
That's weird.
That's a nice one.
That's not you anymore.
That is a nice one.
I know.
Don't be so cocky about it.
You never give me compliments.
Well, it's rare that you have like good analogies like that.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah, I understand. And it sounds like you didn't even confront him about it. So like you probably just sat there and got on with the date, but it says he acknowledged that he didn't look like his photos anymore, because I'm sure that's obviously the elephant in the room, right? Like
maybe he said it before they met, and then he met her and she was like, well, that's
I'm sure he rocks up and goes, I know she's thinking I don't look like the photos I put forward, so I'm gonna like nip it in the bud.
I reckon he would have preemptively said.
No, I did not take that from him.
Oh,
I'm saying it literally says he struggled to get out of the car. So she's saying she obviously she was seeing him for the first time as not who he was in his pictures.
Okay.
And then was, and he, I'm sure, as you said, people can pick up on a vibe, right? So he would have been like, oh, this chick seems a bit apprehensive, understandably, because you're, I guess, not who you say you are. And then he would have gone, hey, this is why I'm doing this.
Yeah.
And then they had this weird tiff about judging a book by its cover.
The hardest part of going on a date like that is just having to see it through.
No, it doesn't sound like...
I've been on a couple of bad dates where I'm like, oh, God, can this end?
Yeah, but I think at the point where it says he didn't like what she said and he said, no wonder you're single, I don't think she would have just sat at the table and continued the date.
I hope she got up.
Surely you get up and leave. And
I hope she got up.
He's crossed a line, so I'm leaving. But yeah, I mean... Guys, if you're on the dating apps, I would just say, just give real information and be as honest as possible.
So helpful.
But we've spoken about this before where people lie about age, height, because, I guess they think if I'm 5'8" and a chick wants someone over 6 foot, they're not going to even go on a first date with me. But if they do go on the first date with me, maybe they'll realize that we do get along, So it's this.
Stop wasting everyone's time. It's giving real estate agent showing better photos of the apartment.
That is annoying.
Yeah. Well, it's the same premise.
No, I agree.
You've reeled me in here under false pretenses. You've wasted my time. You've wasted your time.
Yeah.
And you should be fined. That should be illegal.
Fined.
Well,
Love
yeah,
it.
real estate agents being fined. You should be fined for catfish dates.
Oh, they're the worst people. All right, next story. My husband actually catfished me at the start of our relationship. We met online when I was 16 or 17, living on opposite sides of Australia. For the first 13 months, he used a fake name and someone else's photos. We'd text and call daily, even sneak calls to each other's landlines when no one was home. He claimed to be in fashion, sending pics of photo shoots and news articles about his brand, until I noticed one day that he'd scribbled something out in one of the screenshots. I reverse image searched it and discovered multiple lies. When I confronted him, he broke down, admitted everything, and showed me who he really was. He said he'd wanted to tell me for ages but didn't know how. We hit a rough patch but stayed in touch. A year later, he flew to my state and we met in person for the first time. It was weird but healing. He opened up and from then on our relationship grew stronger. We did long distance for another year before he moved to my state. Just before the COVID border closures, we packed up and drove across the country together. We worked hard to rebuild trust and it paid off. We've now been married 3 years, own a home, have a dog, a daughter, and I'm currently pregnant with our second, due around the same time as Jad.
I don't know what to say.
Yeah, man.
I've never heard a catfish story turn around so dramatically. And I'm really happy for you that worked out. But I can't help but feel like if this was me, there would always be that little lingering voice in my head that reminded me of what he'd done at the very beginning.
Yeah,
to deceive me in such a grand way when I was quite young.
Agree. Stoked for you. Happy everything's going smoothly. I would just come back to the fact that all those lies are how he started the relationship, right? Like manipulated her into getting close. But then also, he didn't come clean. It wasn't like he was like, hey, I really like you. I think this could go somewhere. I need to come clean. She caught him in the lies and then he came clean. So it's like if she didn't catch him, this might have progressed for even longer, you know, like he might have continued the lies for longer and longer and longer. So that would play on my mind as well. Like you didn't come clean and do the right thing and, you know, get on the moral high ground. You actually got caught and then it's like when people say like, I'm sorry. And it's like, well, it doesn't mean anything when you get caught, right? It's different.
I would think, who are you really? Even if you're presenting this new version of yourself, is that even you?
Yeah, well, it's like, well, the person I got to know, was that like a made-up person that you made up in your head, or was that actually you and you just used fake photos and a fake name? For some reason. And also a fake career and lied about owning everything. A brand and, things like that. So
yeah, I don't know. Honestly, if I'm being completely honest, I'm surprised that you stuck through that.
Yeah, it does say, you know, when we hit a rough patch, stayed in touch. So maybe that didn't start things up straight away, but maybe he I don't know, continued to chip away at her and apologize and
then they moved together just before COVID closures. So
yeah, if I'm being completely honest, I dare say I wouldn't have given someone like that a second chance, and we would not, like if Jad pretended at the start for someone who she was for like a year and a half and then I caught her in a web of lies, I wouldn't have been in a rush to have her kids, I'll tell you that much for free. But once again, I'm stoked that you're stoked and everything's going well, and I wish you guys all the best, and I hope he's learned from his mistakes, and I hope that's the only lie he's ever told you.
The next one says, so I was going through a breakup, one of those messy identity wrecking ones where you're seriously grieving. My older sister encouraged me to get back out there and would say stuff like, you need a rebound, not therapy. Eventually I downloaded Bumble and matched with this guy, Ben. He was exactly what I needed, warm, charming and funny. He asked thoughtful questions, remembered details and never once sent a late night booty call kind of message. We talked for weeks. I actually started to feel something again, but anytime I tried to meet up, there was always an excuse. Work trip, sick animal, phone issues, you name it. I overlooked it because I felt like he knew me on a soul level. Then one night I mentioned something weirdly specific to my sister about my ex and our breakup. The next day, Ben brought it up out of the blue, almost word for word. I'd never mentioned anything remotely similar to him. I literally froze. My stomach dropped. I called my sister and said, tell me the truth. Are you Ben? There's silence. Then she says, I didn't mean for it to go this far. She admitted that it started as harmless fun and a way to help me get out there again and feeling confident, but it spiraled out of control. Our relationship hasn't been the same since. We talk sometimes, but I never really forgave her. It wasn't just a lie. It was a betrayal from one of the closest people in my life. That
Bro, I would
is-
sack that person off and never speak
that
to them
is
again.
actually sick. That's sick. That's so messed up on so many levels.
When she says it was harmless fun and a way to get you confident again, like, fuck, she could have taken you out for a drink and just said, oh, you look hot, like, let's go talk to a bunch
That's
of boys.
harmless fun.
That could have been harmless fun and boost your confidence.
Also, the idea to get you on the app, great. Leave it there. Like, let her have conversations with actual people and develop potential connections with actual other people. Because by doing this, you're also preventing her from being open to other people. You know what I mean?
yeah, I don't.
It's like she's giving herself to this one person and perhaps is like, well, I'm closed off now because I'm enjoying this conversation.
Yeah, I don't think people fully like comprehend these things before they do them, right? Like,
She didn't comprehend anything.
like they might
before
have
she
been
did it.
good intentions. Maybe. I don't think so. But like maybe she was like, yeah, I'm going to hype her and tell her that she looks really hot and then just stop talking to her and hopefully it's a confidence boost. Maybe.
Imagine having intimate conversations with someone who ended up being your sibling.
Yeah. And when she goes, he never sent any booty call messages, I was like, well, yeah, fuck, you'd hope
Thank
not.
God, because
Yeah. This one, I like when you say we still talk sometimes, if one of my siblings did that to me, I would have just gone, you are no sibling of mine. Like, I'm not going to trust a single word that comes out of your mouth from now on. You obviously
It's
don't
really-
care about me, my feeling, nothing. So I would, and as hard as that would be, I'm a pretty stubborn person. Like, I would do it, you know?
it's relationship ruining. Absolutely. I
Yeah.
don't blame you for that. I think that you're totally in the right to have put distance there because that's, for lack of a better word, fucking weird.
And then also, hypothetically, like I'm one of 5 kids, right? So I got 4 other siblings. If one of my siblings did this to me and I cut them off, I reckon if I told my other siblings
Yeah.
what this one had done, I reckon they'd also cut them off.
Whole family
they'd
would be
all,
estranged.
yeah, they'd all think that was psychotic. And then I'm sure if I told
it
my
is.
parents,
They
I mean, they're not going to cut off a kid, but I'm sure their relationship perhaps would
Absolutely.
change, and then your whole family dynamic would shift, all because of this. I don't know what
Imagine
you call
finding
harmless
out-
fun.
your kid did that to your other kid.
Yeah, that's sick.
That's so icky. It's so icky and twisted, and I'm sorry that happened to you because that's just and to have a betrayal that's coming from someone so close, you'd find it really hard to trust people.
All of
really
these, I
hard.
think, would be that, except for the chick before we married her.
I'd be so just hesitant to trust anyone
Yeah.
ever again.
I'm sure this happens regularly, maybe to not these extents. Like,
No.
I'm sure people, like, I'm sure there's plenty of young kids and, you know, dummies on these apps that do these things for kicks. And I'm sure it happens. But as you said, yeah, once it happens once, I'm sure you'd have that little thing in the back of your head whenever you were starting to get close to someone,
They talk
whether
for
or not it
weeks.
was real. What'd you say?
I said they talked for weeks, and she's like, I started to feel something again. I'm like, you're feeling feelings for your sister talking to you.
Yeah, it's all horrible, and yeah, I think you've done well to even put up with your sister, and you say you talk to her sometimes, but you never forgave her.
God,
but
sorry that happened to you, and thanks for writing in.
yeah, thanks for sharing that. That's
If you need a new older sister, let me know. I can help.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah,
Who are you going to give her?
me.
Oh,
I'm an older sister,
well, she might be older than you.
and I won't do that to you. That's for sure.
Yeah, God forbid. Yeah, I hope that's the last time you get catfished, and yeah, I don't even know. I can't even say like, God, good luck with your
I
relationship
feel
with
like
your sister,
saying
because
R.I.P.
what, to the relationship?
Just everything, the whole situation.
Yeah, that's honestly one of the more brutal ones, because the other ones happen, and it's yuck that it's happened. You feel betrayed and you feel not trusted, but the other person that you're talking to, you literally don't know. Therefore, you never had a relationship with them. It's not ruining anything. But
Except for the one person who married them.
No, but I was going to say the one that was their best friend doing it to them. Like, they're the two where it was actually people that you knew acting this way towards you. Therefore, you've lost a friend in one, and you've lost a sibling in another. Well, you're not lost; they still talk, but you know what I mean. You've lost
Sort of,
that
you have.
relationship that you have with a sibling,
Yeah.
which I think would be tenfold harder to know that the lies, the catfishing, the betrayal came from someone that you know, instead of just some random on the internet who has no idea who you are, and you're just like, essentially another victim of theirs, So yeah, those the friend and the sibling one were definitely probably the most heart wrenching and not
and
nice.
We had one happy ending.
Yeah, one happy ending, but I don't know.
I'm surprised we had one. Honestly, that's pretty good.
Well, I had to chuck one in,
Yeah.
Guys, that's all we have for you this week.
Dare I say, brilliant stories from you guys this week.
Yeah, they were nice. And yeah, as always, thanks for divulging, because yeah, that's some wild shit you guys have been through. Excuse my language. All right, guys. Now, ending this week's episode, we have an Ask Mum and Dad that says, my boyfriend and I have been together for 4 years and have just recently moved in together. Things are going really well. Last week, my boyfriend was in the shower and I noticed his phone buzzing repeatedly. It was a message from a woman named Elise, someone my boyfriend used to work with and once admitted to having a brief crush on, but swore nothing ever happened. Out of instinct, I opened the message. It was nothing flirty, just the girl asking if my boyfriend was still planning to come to the reunion drinks this weekend and that she can't wait to catch up like old times. That was in quotation marks, guys. Something about it just sat wrong with me. I deleted the message without telling my boyfriend. I told myself I did it because I didn't want to start a fight over something harmless, but deep down, I just didn't want my boyfriend to have the reminder of the reunion knowing that she was going to be there. Now I'm stuck in this loop of guilt because I didn't technically lie or anything, but I did remove a message from someone I am insecure about. If he finds out, I'm worried it will put a wedge in our relationship and he won't trust me. What would you guys do if you were me? Whoa.
I don't know.
Yeah.
That's a tricky one.
It's definitely going to put a wedge in your relationship because that's a bit...
Yeah, she could follow up. That's what's, as soon as you've done that,
or
it's
if he
permanent.
or if he didn't need her reminder about the drinks, right? And then they see each other at the drinks, and then she goes, "Oh, why didn't you respond to me?" And he's
Did
like,
you get my text?
You didn't message me." And then
She's
she goes,
like,
"Yeah, I did hear," and shows him
delivered.
or something.
Yeah.
That would be weird because then you'd come to it, right? That
You've made a decision that's unfortunately put you in a very sticky situation.
Actually, if that happened to me, I would just think that the message didn't come through.
Yeah.
If I'm being honest.
That's what I mean. You have evidence, you have the screenshot saying delivered.
Yeah, but I would just
the phone doesn't just do that if you don't get a message.
If I was in that environment and I would just go, "Oh, that's weird." I wouldn't straight go to, "Oh, Jad's deleted a message." You know what I mean? I would just go like, "Oh, maybe my phone was playing up or the memory was full or something." Yeah, I don't think I would. But yeah, you have really, really dug yourself a hole here.
Look, I don't know. If it didn't sit right with you, there's better ways to deal with it than making yourself now the bad guy, right?
Yeah.
Because that's what you've done, is he's not actually done anything wrong. You've had a feeling that's made you uncomfortable. Now you're the bad guy. You're the one that's doing the betrayal. You're hiding his own messages from him.
Yeah.
You've also gone into his phone. Double betrayal.
Yeah.
Double homicide.
Double homicide, yeah. No, but it started by saying that, like, we just moved in together. It's all going really well. So, like, I don't know. It sounds like you have a good relationship and you trust your partner. And he's even been honest with you. Like, he's told you about this person in the past. Obviously, perhaps it's come up before. She's popped up on his phone or something, so you know who it is. But if he's been honest with you and saying that he had a crush on her, but nothing's ever happened, and they're just going to this work reunion thing, it's just, yeah, I don't know. It seems like harmless, I would say, especially if, you never know both people's intentions, but if your partner's a loyal person, then...
he's done nothing wrong. We don't need to defend him. She's unfortunately in this situation. The betrayal is opening the phone to begin with and checking the message. That's why she then deleted it. She deleted it because she didn't want him to see it. You've doubled down, babe.
Well, it's both. Like, you have... If you bring it up with him, you show that you've gone into his phone and wrote his message.
Yeah.
So she was trying to cover her tracks.
Well, yeah. So you've covered your tracks and then also strategically gotten rid of a message you didn't want him to see. But the fact that you made both decisions, unfortunately, you are the villain in this scenario. I hate to say it, but your partner's done absolutely nothing wrong.
Yeah.
And you have now. And now... You've given him reason to not trust you when he's never done anything.
It's certainly a catch-22 here. But yeah, I don't know. It's when people do these things and then keep them to themselves and not honest. Like, it seems like a recurring thing. It's like people saying, I feel guilty now and I can't move forward, which is what you hope a normal person would feel, right? Like if you don't feel guilty, there's something wrong with you. It's like cheaters, right? Like if you can cheat and not feel anything, then there's something wrong with you. If you cheat and then you feel so guilty, you need to own up and fess up. That's like a regular person, right? So you feel guilty about this thing, but yeah, you said you didn't technically lie or anything. I don't know if you're trying to justify it to yourself, but
I feel like maybe you need to tell
in the
him.
wrong.
I think you need to tell him because him finding out on his own will be worse.
Yeah, but that's what she's worried about.
Yeah, no, but I think you need to tell him. I think you need to just go, look, I was in a bit of a, I don't know what.
Insecure
I was
place.
in a weird mood. I wasn't feeling right. I did something. I don't feel good about it. And I need to tell you because I know that it was the wrong thing to do. But if he finds out on his own and then you try to explain yourself, it's just not going to work. At least this way you have a chance of redemption.
I honestly feel weird about this one. I feel like we're witnessing a breakup before it happens, sort of.
Okay, you don't need to say that. Okay?
Sorry,
you don't need to go that far.
I'm not trying to scare you out of the conversation.
We've all made weird decisions where we've been insecure, okay? But it's all right if you acknowledge what you've done. I think about it from flip the perspective. How would you want him to deal with it if he had done that to you? From here on, where is the best possible place to go? And I think that place is honesty and fessing up and saying, I'm really sorry. I know this was the wrong thing to do. I promise I won't do it again. And I just need you to know that I've done this because I feel really bad about it. And I don't know why I did it. And I'm sorry. But I don't think you would want him to leave it until you found out and then you approached him about it.
I couldn't agree more. But it's just, I'm a bit worried for her.
Lock spiraling. I'm going to give you the confidence you need to tell him the truth.
Yeah.
I think you should do that, and I think that's the best possible way forward because honesty is the best policy. That's not a saying for no reason.
Yeah. Good luck. You're gonna kill it. Sorry, I don't. This honestly is like, I don't know. I'm just imagining how it's gonna go down, and
people will get cheated on and still end up together.
Yeah,
all good.
Think about it like that. Yeah, it's not the worst thing in the world.
No,
it's just
you've just made it was a
bad decision.
Bad
spur of the
decision.
moment.
Yeah.
Let him know
You can
all
fix
those
it.
feelings.
I think you
to be honest, I think you should be honest about it making you feel insecure.
Yes, of
because then it
course.
kind of explains why you did what you did, not just like
Yes.
Yeah. All the best. Guys, that's all we have for you this week. That was a different Ask Mum and Dad.
I like that. That was a good one.
No, that was tough. Guys, appreciate you writing in. As always, your ears mean a lot to us, and I'm already looking forward to next week's episode. If you are enjoying what you're hearing and you're having fun with us, it means a lot if you leave a review. And if you wanted to weigh up on any of these catfishing stories, feel free to do so in the comments. Much love.
We'll see you soon.
Bye.
Bye.